Each organization has its own way of doing what it does and its own way of talking about what it's doing. And the way of knowing what it does and what it's doing is to investigate the organizational culture. In this case, Wells Fargo's culture. I'm here with Chastity Rose, Assistant Vice President and Store Manager. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Okay, tell us a little bit of Wells Fargo's culture, if you have any rituals, stories, artifacts, or anything that describes Wells Fargo's culture.
Well, as a culture as a whole, we are a very team-oriented institution. We do really focus on our work-life balance, making sure that all of our team members do take pride in what we do. We do really focus on our vision and values. So with that, we may have team meetings and things like that. Don't have any rituals necessarily that we would typically do on a daily basis that are company-wide. But it does really roll back to the manager and how they run their team based on our vision and values.
Okay, thank you. Um, uh, Tell us, how is the organizational culture created and sustained through communication?
Um, with that, communication is key. We have quite a bit of team member networks that we may reach out to or join. A lot of email communication. We do also have um, our websites, of course, that bring communication straight to the stores. And then, of course, every line of business that we have. So, as far as a culture as a whole, we are very family oriented and very community based. One thing that people forget about Wells Fargo, being a big bank that's come into town, it's us that work here. We are regular folks just like anyone else. So really understanding that we bring a lot and try to make sure that we stay out in the community. And we do want to continue to uphold that focus that Wachovia always had. And then of course now Wells Fargo definitely holds to that as well.
Okay. And what are some best practices and challenges for creating and sustaining an effective organizational culture in team? For example, how is Wells Fargo's climate? Is it supportive or how is it?
Absolutely. Again, I like to speak of Wells Fargo being the company for opportunity. Very supportive. There are many lines of business for my team. I work in the retail world as it relates to the line of business that I work in. However, um, Wells Fargo as a whole supports anything within the capacity of the team member. If they want to branch out and do something else, we are from here all the way to California. So there are so many opportunities, and Wells Fargo definitely supports those things by putting managers in place in those lines of business to support that. So it does roll back to the manager over the line of business, whether it's in a store, whether it's in a call center, but really supporting that. So as far as best practices is making sure that we reach out to our team members and get their voice, what's important to them. We utilize, surveys and things like that to connect with our team members and just get their voice and see how they're feeling.
And how is the decision making procedures? Is it effective or defective?
I believe, with my experience here, I would say Wells Fargo being a very smart company, very effective as it relates to decision making. We do listen to our consumers on the outside when they provide feedback, and then we also listen to our team members, and then we make moves and decisions based on those.
Okay, and can you talk about the conflict management, if any?
As it relates to a process for conflict management, I wouldn't set Wells Fargo apart from any other person or institution or even company. I don't have any of that here. In the event that there's an issue, just like any other team or adult, we talk those things out. And then, of course, we always have support systems to assist with anything that's very out of the norm. But as a whole, that's not something that I have to deal with. Yes.
Okay, and how this culture of Wells Fargo makes you feel, Ms. Rose?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I am able to come to work and be who I am as a person. That means a lot to me. I really stress to my team, it's okay to be yourself, and that's exactly what we do. This is a place of fullness. It's a place of diversity. We want to make sure that we match the folks that come into our locations, and that's exactly what Wells Fargo does. So I feel absolutely amazing when I come to work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.